You know those picture postcard scenes, the
Oh.
ones that just stick in your head?
Hmm.
That was by Zaran in Pahalgam, last Tuesday afternoon, April 22nd.
Right.
Imagine it. Crisp weather after some rain, the air just clean. And this incredible view, snow-capped peaks all around the Litter Valley below.
It's stunning terrain. They call it mini Switzerland, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do, yeah.
Yeah.
And people were just enjoying it, maybe 1,000, 1,500 tourists. Pony rides, picnics, just soaking it all in.
The kind of idyllic scene, the sort of temporary escape people look for. Peaceful.
Exactly. And then, that piece it evaporates brutally fast.
Around 2:30 p.m., is that right?
Yeah, about then. Suddenly, this quiet afternoon just explodes. Violence. 4 to 6 gunmen, it seems.
Dressed in military-style fatigues.
That's what reports say. They came out of the pine forest and started firing.
Horrifying.
What's really chilling, though, is that initial moment. Some survivors said the attackers acted like police or maybe soldiers, asking for names, IDs.
So confusion first.
Yeah, sowing confusion before the real terror hit. It's a deeply disturbing tactic.
It plays on that instinct to trust authority figures, leaves people completely vulnerable.
And the attack itself, AK-47s, close range, indiscriminate, just awful.
And the group claiming it is the Resistance Front, TRF.
Yes, which, from what we understand, is basically an offshoot, or maybe just another name for Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Okay. Well,
Their aim, apparently, is to disrupt peace in the Kashmir Valley. And the cost, well, it's staggering. At least 28 people confirmed dead, dozens injured.
It just underscores the fragility, doesn't it? And the absolute ruthlessness involved. Such a scale of violence in a place like that.
So look, we're not just going to run through the news reports here. We want to try and get beyond the numbers.
Right. Understand the human impact.
Exactly. Focus on the people whose lives were just stolen on what should have been just a beautiful, maybe even joyful Tuesday afternoon.
It's crucial. These individual stories, they're what make the tragedy real, beyond the headlines.
Let's start with Lieutenant Vinay Narwal, just 26 years old, a young naval officer, recently commissioned.
So young. Just starting out.
He was on his honeymoon with his wife, Himanshi. They'd only been married since April 16th.
Oh my goodness. Barely a week.
A week. Imagine the hopes they had. They were at a little roadside eatery there in Bizaran. He was shot in the head, died instantly.
It's just abrupt.
Yeah.
So brutal. A life, a new marriage, just erased.
His grandfather shared this memory, how Vinay, as a kid, was fascinated by military vehicles, that early spark that led him to the Navy.
That makes it even more poignant, doesn't it? And his wife, Himanshi, just devastated, obviously. How could she not be?
Utterly. It's such a stark, terrible reminder of the personal cost.
Absolutely.
Then there's Manjunath Rao, 48, a realtor from Bengaluru.
Yeah.
He was there with his family. It was supposed to be a celebration trip. His son had done really well in his exams. They planned a whole week.
A reward, a family getaway, turned into a nightmare.
His wife, Pallavi, she witnessed his death. Her account is just harrowing. She apparently pleaded with the attackers, kill me too.
Oh, okay.
And their response, chilling. Reportedly, they told her, go tell Modi.
That's sending a message, isn't it? A very deliberate political message through an act of pure terror.
It seems that way. But amidst that horror, Pallavi also mentioned something else. 3 local Kashmiri men.
Really? What did they do?
They helped her, showed incredible bravery, apparently chanting Bismillah as they carried her to safety.
Wow. That's humanity shining through in the darkest moment. A powerful counter-narrative to the attacker's hate.
It really is. And the family, they decided not to tell Manjunath's 80-year-old mother the truth, to shield her.
Understandable. How do you even begin to share news like that?
Then Shumam Dwivedi, he was 31, a businessman from Kanpur, also newlyweds. He and his wife, Aishanya, married just 2 months back in February. They were there with a big family group, 11 of them.
Another young couple starting their life together.
He was asked for his identity, apparently, and then shot, point blank. His wife saw it happen.
Just horrific, witnessing that.
His cousin raised a serious point, suggesting it might have been targeted based on their names.
That's a very disturbing allegation.
Well,
And true, it points to a calculated selection process. Cold-blooded.
Yeah. And the family just waiting for his body to be returned,
and fun.
prolonging the agony.
The agony, yes.
And it wasn't just the tourists, tragically. Syed Adil Hussain Shah, 32 years old.
A local.
Yes, a local horse rider from Pahalgam. He wasn't on vacation. He was working in Bizaran, trying to earn a living.
The sole provider for his family, reports said.
That's right, the only breadwinner. Imagine his family's weight. His father trying to call him, the phone just ringing, then silence.
Heartbreaking, just trying to do his job.
His mother's grief, losing their provider like that. His uncle called the attack a wound on Kashmiri.
That term, Kashmiri, it signifies that unique blend of culture, tolerance, harmony in Kashmir, doesn't it?
Exactly. So an attack like this, it feels like a violation of that very spirit, a deep betrayal.
It impacts everyone, visitors, locals. It cuts across the whole community.
Yeah.
Adil's death makes that painfully clear.
Then Sushil Nathaniel, 50 years old.
Yeah.
An LIC branch manager from Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
He'd saved up for this trip to bring his wife, Jennifer, his daughter Akanksha, his son Austin, to see Kashmir.
A family dream.
During the attack, he acted heroically, shielded his wife with his own body.
Incredible bravery. But
he was killed doing it. His son shared a really chilling detail. He said the attackers asked his father to recite the Kalima.
Islamic declaration of faith.
Yes. And when Sushil, presumably not being Muslim, couldn't, they shot him.
That points towards a sectarian motive, doesn't it? If that account is accurate. Deeply disturbing.
His daughter was wounded too. The family, understandably, believes it was a hate crime. Their pain must be immense.
Of course. Heroism met with such hate. It's hard to process.
We also lost Prasant Kumar Saptathy, 43, an accounts assistant from Odisha.
Right.
Another story of saving up for a dream. He just wanted to show his wife and son the snow in Kashmir. Simple as that.
Just wanted to share that beauty.
They were near the ropeway area in Baisaran when he was killed. The devastation for that family, unimaginable.
Innocent dreams just shattered. It's relentless.
And finally, Manish Ranjan, 42. He was an intelligence bureau officer stationed in Hyderabad.
An IB officer. On vacation.
Yes, a rare family vacation with his wife Asha and their 2 kids. They were even planning to visit Vaishno Devi afterwards.
Oh, no.
He was shot right there, in front of his family.
Witnessing that
Yeah.
for his wife, his children, the trauma.
His family is just reeling, demanding justice. His uncle reportedly said something like, he served the nation and they killed him like he was nothing.
It hits hard, doesn't it? Someone dedicated to protecting the country killed like that while trying to have a normal family moment.
It really does. You see the pattern, the sheer weight of loss. It's not abstract. It's Vinay, Manjunath, Shubham, Adil, Sushil, Prasant, Manish. Real people.
Each one a universe of connections, hopes, now extinguished.
And the scene there, Baisaran, must have been pure chaos. Laughter turning instantly to screams. Bodies. People desperate.
There's video footage, wasn't there, from a tourist capturing the first moments?
Yes, apparently. And survivors' accounts point to attackers deliberately seeming to pick out non-Muslims.
That element of targeted identification is just profoundly chilling. Suggests a very specific, hateful agenda.
But, you know, even in that absolute horror, there were acts of incredible kindness.
Local people you mentioned. With Pahlavi Rao?
Yes, and others too. Locals using their ponies right away to try and get the wounded down to help evacuate people, risking their own safety.
That immediate human response, that compassion, it's so important to remember.
Absolutely. Then security forces arrived. A joint operation was launched pretty quickly. They released sketches of some suspects.
Asif Fauji, Suleiman Shah, Abu Talha, those names.
Those are the ones, yeah. And identified a couple of local suspects too, Adil and Asif from nearby areas.
And there were reports some attackers spoke Pashtun.
Yes, which might suggest, you know, possible foreign involvement, but that's still under investigation.
Right. A complex picture emerging.
The reaction, nationally and internationally, has been huge. PM Modi cut short a trip. The Home Minister visited.
Leaders across the board condemned it, naturally. Omar Abdullah, Mahbooba Mufti.
Yes, there was a shutdown observed across Jammu and Kashmir, too. A sign of mourning, protest.
And global leaders weighed in.
Oh, absolutely. Condolences, condemnations, U.S. President Trump, Russia's Putin, Italy's Meloni, the UN Secretary General, even Nepal's PM, because one victim was Nepali.
That global response highlights the shockwaves this sent out.
Airlines stepped up, waiving fees, adding flights. The J&K government announced ex gratia payments for the families.
Practical support, which is needed even if it can't heal the wounds.
So let's talk about the why, the motives, the timing. Why Pahalgam, such a tourism hotspot?
Well, targeting tourism hits the economy, creates fear, undermines stability, especially with the Amarnath Yatra pilgrimage coming up soon.
Right, that's a major event. So, disrupt tourism, grab international headlines.
That seems likely, yeah. Some analysts are framing it as an act of desperation, maybe linked to frustration from groups like Laiti, given the relative peace since, say, 2019. A way to force the issue back into the spotlight.
A massacre planned in frustration by Pakistan.
Yeah.
That was one perspective mentioned.
Yes, that points to external factors, and the timing, coinciding with high-profile visits, might also be deliberate, maximizing impact.
And the TRF's own claim, linking it to demographic changes after Article 370 was revoked.
That adds a very specific political grievance to the mix, doesn't it? Framing their terror as a response to perceived changes on the ground. It's a justification, of course, not a valid reason.
No, never. But it sheds light on their narrative. When you step back, the impact just radiates outwards, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's not just the immediate victims and their families. It ripples through communities across India. It shakes that sense of security.
And it brings up all those difficult conversations about Kashmir again. The grief in places like Bengaluru, Kanpur, Odisha, and that sense of betrayal among locals in Kashmir, like Adil Shah's family must feel.
It's a profound human cost, far beyond the casualty numbers. And inevitably, it sparks debate. Calls for stronger action, questions about intelligence.
Yeah, accountability. Even sports figures reacted strongly.
It touches every part of society. The NIA, the National Investigation Agency, is handling the investigation now.
And the government's promising justice. But for those families, the road ahead is just unimaginably long and painful.
It truly is. Healing takes time, support, and justice, however that manifests.
Yet, even in all this darkness, we saw that resilience, didn't we? That Kashmiri spirit in the locals who helped.
Yes, that compassion, that refusal to be defined by the violence, it's a crucial reminder of the enduring human spirit.
It really brings it home, the people behind the headlines. Lives, hopes, families, all shattered in a place that, for many, symbolized peace and beauty.
It absolutely does. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? How does a place, a community, a whole nation even begin to recover from something like this? This targeted terror in a location heavy with symbolism.
What are those long-term consequences for the region, for all of us?
Those are the deep questions that linger, questions about resilience, justice, and how we hold on to humanity when faced with such brutality. Something for all of us to reflect on, really.